Hey everyone, in this video I have some awesome news for the StockedUp Discord chat, specifically for stat modeling members. So in this video we're going to be covering the new addition to the stat modeling program and how everything works. It has to do with options order flow, which can be extremely beneficial while options trading. So the stat modeling program was created by Tom and I. Basically, it is meant to provide a ton of value for options traders. Currently in the program we have plays that Tom and I trade. We have news bots, analyzer bots, we have machine learning bots for options trading, we have counter bots, we have a new options order flow bot. So Tom and I are always focused on adding new things, new tools, new technology within the program to make it as valuable as possible. And in this video, we have a pretty awesome feature. So options order flow is extremely beneficial when it comes down to options trading. It allows you to see what institutional investors or the smart money is doing with their own trading. So basically what this tool allows you to do is find out, the $1 million orders that Goldman Sachs is taking, or, whatever dollar amount. You could just see big dollar amount orders and see what the smart money is doing. See what the people who are putting a ton of money on the line, see what they're trading. So we can see that there's a couple different channels within this little section called Smart Flow. There's three main channels. The first one is the commands channel, then we have unusual options, and then golden sweeps. So we're going to start off with the unusual options channel. We can see that there are a ton of messages posted within this channel, and there's a lot of data included in each message. For each message, we have the time, contract, premium, open interest, the type. We have a ton of different variables to look at. So if we look at the one with PDD, we can see that there was about $500,000 put into the 138 strike put options that expire on December 18th. That's a lot of money. So, and the expiration is pretty close. So let's take a look at PDD. If we go to Thinkorswim, go to PDD, we can see PDD is down about 6% today. I had a huge reversal and it looks like it's downtrending. If we go to the December 18th chain, the 138 strike puts, we can see they're looking to be doing pretty good. They're up 114% today. So if we look, we can see that they bought 2,500 contracts at $183. Right now, they're at about 220, so that's a good sign already. And we see PDD continue to downtrend. So with this information, we can see that, the smart money has a lot of money on PDD to the downside. This information can be used if you want to swing trade PDD to the downside, if you want to buy puts, if you want to sell a stock, short the stock, sell call credit spreads on it. You could do whatever you want. The main thing is to understand and just be able to use this information and data to your advantage. One thing to note is that just because smart money is getting in an option, that does not always mean that they are longing that specific option. So just like with stocks, with options, you can either buy an option or you can short an option. If we look at Apple, we can see Apple right now is at about $122. You could either buy Apple or you could short it. If you buy it, you want Apple to rise in value. If you short it, you want it to fall in value. Options, you can do the same thing. So technically, someone can be shorting this PDD option. No, there's no way for us to tell just by looking at the price. But some very important general rules of thumb, and this is really important, so you might want to write this down if you plan on using this bot, is generally the smart money likes to either get a lot of time with their options or they like to get in the money. So like if you see, for example, like let's say you see Apple, right now it's at 122. And let's say you see puts on Apple, let's say you see puts that are at like the 110 strike that expire in 3 days, they're probably not longing those options because, they're so far out of the money and they have a very low chance of actually working. But if you see an institution or like if you see an order come in through this feed about like Apple being like, if you see like a 125 strike puts, those puts are in the money, and like let's say you see them expiring in like 60 days, I would say that there's a high chance that the smart money is longing those puts, meaning that they want Apple to fall. So that's just a general rule of thumb. There's always exceptions, but that general rule of thumb usually works. So normally they want a lot of time, or at least they want to be pretty far in the money, or at least at the money. And then we could also see that there's a couple different types of orders. We can see block, split, and there's also sweep orders. So a sweep order, basically it is when the underlying institution or smart money trader uses multiple exchanges to fill an order. And this is normally, it shows urgency. So if you see sweep right there, it shows, hey, they submitted the order, it went to a couple different exchanges, and it shows urgency. It shows that they wanted to get into the trade pretty quickly. So like if you see Apple running up to the upside in the middle of the day and it's just skyrocketing, then you can see that, and like let's say you see Apple running up in the middle of the day and it's skyrocketing, and you see someone getting calls with a sweep order, they're probably longing those calls because they want to get in quickly, and Apple's moving up to the upside already. So each scenario is different, but just keep that in mind. Another type of order is block, like we can see right here. A block order is used by investors that have a lot of money. Normally it's just like some really large order sizes, and they don't go through like a normal exchange. So keep that in mind. And then we have two more. Then we have a split order, which is kind of like a sweep order, but the only difference is instead of going through multiple exchanges, it just goes through one. And then the last order is the most important, and it's called a golden sweep order. So this is very popular and it's very useful. A golden sweep order is just like a regular sweep order, but it also has options where the sweeps are over $1 million. So we can see that if we look at, let's see. Oh, actually, two golden sweeps just came in for Apple. We can see Apple, we have two golden sweeps. We have someone actually just put a ton of money on the 127 strike puts that expire on January 8th, 2021. This actually looks pretty solid. Let me look back on this. Yeah, this looks actually like a solid trade. Let me go back. So yeah, Apple 127 strike puts, and let me get the date, January 8th. All right, so we go to January 8th, and it's the 127 strike puts. All right, let's take a look. Let's get this order right here. All right, we can see someone just loaded up on Apple puts. Someone put about $2 million into this trade. So this looks like a pretty solid setup, actually. What I really like about this setup, and this is actually perfect that it happened live on video, is we can see Apple's kind of tanking. We can see that the overall market is falling. It's at all-time highs. And then we have two golden sweeps on Apple, which is pretty awesome to see. So I really like this setup. And yeah, we have about $2 million going into Apple. So golden sweeps can be extremely valuable. It can just show you that, hey, you know, like it told me right now that someone's putting about $2 million on Apple to the downside until January 8th. So, and it tells you this pretty much right as it happens too. So it can be very, very, very valuable. With the rest of the channels, we have like FDA approvals, analyst ratings, earnings guidance, upgrades and downgrades. We have a ton of different news feeds for that. It finds the news basically in real time, and you can just click on the link, and it'll even show you tickers associated with that news. So like if we go to FDA approvals, we can see former U.S. Health and Human Services briefing, Pfizer's COVID vaccine will be delivered to 600 plus different locations, and it shows the tickers that are associated with it. BNTX and PFE. You know, it's awesome news. And there's also sometimes, like you can see right here, green, it shows that whether the news is like bullish or bearish for the stock. So we can see right here, the thing is white. So it shows just kind of like a neutral article. But if we see green, it shows, hey, this news is actually pretty positive for SRNE. If it's red, it's going to be pretty negative. And now for the commands channel. So this is where it gets pretty fun. So we're going to go through a couple different commands. You can just see pretty much you could type in a couple different commands. One of them is /stats and then market. So if you go to stats and then you type in market, you can see the stats for the market. We can see that so far today we had about $17 million in or 17 million worth of call volume and 9 million worth of put volume. There was about $10 billion on the call side and $4 billion on the put side. So this can just give you some interesting statistics and just information that otherwise you wouldn't have had access to. So let's say you like a specific stock. Let's say you go to Apple's chart and you say, you know what? I really like the way Apple's forming. It couldn't break this resistance right here. I think Apple can fall. But you just want some like reassurance, or you just want a little bit more information. All you have to do is type in /flow and then any ticker symbol. And then guess what? It's going to show you a ton of relevant different options that are being traded with Apple today. We can see someone put about $22,000 into Apple 120 strike puts, and you can keep cycling through this. Someone put a ton of different orders. There's actually a ton, but you can just keep cycling through it. You just press this button and you can just see a ton of relevant orders, which can give you some great information. You could actually do a little bit of scanning, which is awesome to see. So like let's say you want to see Apple contracts that had about at least $300,000 put into it or more. You can go to /flow, Apple, Preem, and then you go to, let's say you did 300,000. You do 300,000, 1, 2, 3, and now you're only going to see options that Apple had for $300,000 or more, and you can just cycle through them. You can see someone put about $500,000 into Apple puts that we were talking about, and we can just keep cycling through them, which is awesome to see. It's just extremely valuable information. And then there's actually a lot of other features you can do too. Let's say you want to see Apple sweeps with $100 worth of premium. You go T for type and you do sweep, and then you do premium. Like let's say you want to do $500,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can see that there were 7 different orders, and you can just cycle through them. So all of this information is extremely valuable, and you can use it however you want to use it. There's a lot of different criteria and different things you can add. You could even do like golden sweep. So if you did /flow, and let's say you did SPY and you did gold, right? Oh, so there's no golden sweeps today for SPY. Let's say you did /flow Apple gold. All right, we could see some golden sweeps. There were 2. About one for 1 million and another one for slightly over 1 million. You can do this for any ticker you want. There's also things for like in the money. So if we go to, let me get the exact code right here. So like let's say you want to see flow for Tesla. You can do /flow and then the expiration. You could do in the money. You could do out of the money. You could do at the money. It just shows you some very valuable information. And you can combine all of these different scanner type things into one scan. So I actually built one a little earlier. So I did /flow SPY, and then I did T for sweep because sweeps show urgency. For the type, I made sure it was a put, and then I made sure it was in the money and at least $100,000. Let's take a look. So we can see these are some solid orders that would fit my criteria. You can do it however you want. I know if it sounds complicated, don't worry. I'm going to put together a whole organized list on how to use all of the commands that are available to you for this bot. So I just wanted to run through this. I know it might seem a little complicated, but if you have the ability, if you want to make your own kind of scanners and cycle through all the different orders. But I think if you're new and you're just a little bit confused, the best way to go would be to look at the unusual options and the golden sweeps. This can tell you some great information, and I'm very happy that this Apple example came up while I was recording. We could see that someone put about $2 million in Apple right when we were recording. This is pretty bearish. It looks pretty good. So just some closing things to keep in mind. The smart money doesn't always have to long options. They can short them too. And always, just like always with any analysis technique, always use other factors. Don't just rely on this type of analysis. But generally, golden sweeps are going to give you the best types of setups. And remember that smart money, if they're longing an option, they normally want that option to be at the money or at least in the money, and they want a good amount of time. So if you guys want to get access to this bot, you can click the StockedUp Options Alerts link in the description down below. Tom and I are always adding new features and new things to the program. And once you get in the program, you're never charged for new features. So we've had people in the program for over a year now when there was literally 1 or 2 channels. And since then, Tom and I have added so many new channels. We're always adding new bots. We're always adding things to the program. We have hybrid plays channel, unusual options activity, credit spreads channel, machine learning channel. We have a ton of different features, and we're always adding new things. Education channels, machine learning, bot counters, and now options order flow. So I hope you guys gained value from this video. Like I said, Stocked Up options alerts link in the description down below if you want to try it out. But thanks for watching.